Hi everyone. Hope you all are good. We are here for grade 10 math. You can find all the lessons on aplusstudents.com. You have to log in there using your email address and password as provided by the administrator. Then you have to select math from the subject tab. Scroll down to grade 10 math and then click on view all lessons. There you can find the rest of the chapter. Lines in the coordinate plane. So please make sure the lessons we're going to cover today are slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines, equations of parallel and perpendicular lines, find the distance between a point and a line, find the distance between two parallel lines. So please make sure you have your notebook and pencil so that you can note down the important examples and definitions as well. Chapter we're on right now is lines in the coordinate plane. Let's just start with the lesson that is slopes of parallel perpendicular. So line M has a -7/8. Line N is parallel to line M. What is the slope of line L? So the lines are, if the two lines are parallel, they have exactly the same slope, right? So line N and M are parallel, so line N has the slope that is -7/9. Okay, line F has a slope of 7/9. Line G is line G is perpendicular to line F. What is the slope of line G? So the slope of line G is if the two lines are if the two lines are perpendicular, the slopes is the opposite reciprocal, right? So the slope of line F is 7/9. First thing you need to do is the reciprocal. Reciprocal means exchange the numerator and denominator. That would be 9/7 and then put a negative sign. So the slope of line G is -9/7. Let's just start with the test questions. So two lines parallel, they have exactly the same slopes, and if they are perpendicular, their slopes are negative reciprocal. Line T has a slope of 8/3. Line U is perpendicular to T. What is the slope of line U? So the lines are perpendicular. That means their slopes are opposite reciprocal. Opposite reciprocal means the first thing you need to do is the reciprocal. The reciprocal of 8/3 is 3/8. Then put a negative sign. So the slope of line U is -3/8. The correct option, that is -3/8. Line F has a slope of negative 5 by line. Line G is parallel to line F. What is the slope of line G? So line F and G are parallel. So the parallel lines have exactly the same slopes. So that is negative 5 by 9. Line G has a slope that is negative 5 over 9. Line M has a slope of negative 5 over 8. Line N has a slope of negative 5 by 6. So the line M and N are parallel or perpendicular? So for the parallel lines, the slopes must be same. So the slopes are not same, right? So that means the lines are not parallel. And for the perpendicular lines, their slopes must be negative reciprocal. So they are not negative reciprocal. That means the lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. The correct option is neither. Line P has a slope of 7 over 2. Line Q is perpendicular to P. What is the slope of line Q? So the lines are perpendicular. So their slopes are negative reciprocal. That means that is negative 2 by 7. That is negative 2 by 7. Option number 2 is the correct option. Line U has a slope of 5 by 2. Line V has a slope of 2 by 3. Are the two lines parallel or perpendicular? Neither, because the slopes are not same and they are not the negative reciprocal, so the lines are neither parallel nor perpendicular. Line J has a slope of 3 by 4. Line K is parallel to line J. What is the slope of line K? They are parallel, so they must have the same slope, that is 3 by 4. Okay, you, you can complete the lesson by yours. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is equations of parallel and perpendicular lines. Line G has an equation of y equals 6x plus 4. Line H is parallel to line G and passes through -1, -6. What is the equation of line H? Y equals 6x plus 4. Line H is parallel to line G, so the lines are parallel. The equation is y equals 6x plus 4, right? And E equals 4, right? So first thing is the line. So the slope of line G is also 6, right? Because both the lines are parallel. Now the given point, that is -1 and -6, and find the point B. So the equation is y equals, here is the equation, y equals 6 times x plus 4. Y is -6 equals 6 times -1 plus 4. -6 equals -6. Sorry, we have to calculate the slope. So -6 plus 6 is 0. So the slope, the equation is y equals 6x. Let's just start with the test questions. Like Q has an equation y equals 4 by 9x plus 2. Line R includes the point -3, -7, -3, and is parallel to the line Q. What is the equation of line R? Y equals 4 by 9x plus 2. Line Q has an equation 4 by 9x plus 2, and line R includes the point -7, -3, and is parallel to line Q. What is the equation of line R? So the lines are parallel, so the slopes must be same. So line R has the slope that is 4 over 9. So y equals 4 over 9 plus b. Now I'm using this point and I'm going to calculate the point b. Y is -3, 4 over 9 x is -7 plus, so -3 equals 7 times 4 is negative 7 times 4 is 28 over 9 plus b. So b equals -3 plus 28 over 9 times 3 is 7 times 4 is 28. 9 times 3 is -27 plus 28 over 9. So b equals 1 over 9. So the equation is y equals 4 over 9x plus 1 over 9. That means option number 2 is the correct option. Basically, what you have to do, parallel, right? So that means their slope is exactly the same, right? So you need to use the point, the given point in the question. So just use the point and find the value of b. So the equation is y equals 4 by 9x plus 1 over 9. Option number 2 is the correct option. The line u has a slope of, the line u has an equation y equals x plus 3 by 10. Line v includes the point 7 minus 7 and -2 and is perpendicular to line u. What is the slope of line v? Okay, now, right? The slope of this line is 1. So the lines are perpendicular, so the slope is slope of line v is opposite reciprocal, right? 1 over 1, and we need to add a negative sign, so that is -1. Now use this point and calculate the point b. Y equals -1 x plus b. So y is -2, the 1 times plus b. So b equals -2 plus 7, b equals 5. So the equation is y equals -1, 5. So option number 2 is the correct option. Y equals -x plus 5. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. Find the distance between a point and a line. Line T has an equation of y equals -4. Find the distance between point L and the point U1 and 7. And now I cannot see anything and cannot read. Y equals -4. Find the distance between the point U1 and 7. Find the distance between L and the point U1, 7. So basically, you need to plot a line at y equals -4, right? Let me see if I can zoom. Basically, the first thing is you need to plot a line at y equals -4. Then you have to plot the point. The point is 1 and 7, here 4. I need to zoom the page. I don't know how to zoom. So the first thing is you need to plot a line at y equals -4. This is the line at y equals -4. Then you need to add a point 1 and 7. You need to calculate the vertical distance. Like from 0 to 7, we have 7 points, and from 0 to -4, we have 4 points. So the lines are 11 points away. Let's just start with the test question. Line S has the equation y equals -4, right? So basically, -1, -2, -3, -4, right? So here is the point, line y equals -4. Now plot the point -2, -1. X is -2. X is -2 and y is -1. So -2 and -1, here is the point. You just have to calculate the distance. So that is 1, 2, 3. So the correct option is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, let's just move on to next one. Line L has the point Equation y equals 4. Find the distance between L and the point J, 6 and 1. So how we calculate the distance? You can just look at the y equals 4 and the y point is 1. So you have to do 4 minus 1, that is 3. 1 is the correct option, that is the distance between the line L and the point 1. Got it? Option number 1 is the correct option. Line L has equation y equals 3. Find the distance between the point L and the point F, negative 3, 5. That is 2. Option number 2 is the correct option. Line L has the equation negative 2. Find the distance between the line L and the point U, negative 4, negative 5. That is 3. Option number 2 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. Let me just move on to next lesson. The next lesson is find the distance between two parallel lines. Line L1 has the equation y equals 4 and line L2 has the equation y equals negative 3. Find the distance between L1 and L2. Let's just start with the test questions. Line L1 has the equation negative 7 and L2 has the equation negative 6. Find the distance between L1 and L2. So negative 7 plus 6 is 1. Option number 1 is the correct option. Line L1 has the equation y equals 4 and line L2 has the equation y equals negative 3. Find the distance between L1 and L2. So negative 4 minus 3 is 1. So the distance between the two lines is 1. Option number 2 is the correct option. Seven? Yo, 4 minus negative 3, so 7 it is. Line L1 has the equation y equals negative 4 and line L2 has the equation y negative 2. Find the distance between L1 and L2. So negative 4 plus 2 is negative 2. 2 it is option number 2 is the correct option. 6 minus negative 4 is 10. Option number 1 is the correct option. Line L1 has the equation y equals negative 5 and line L2 has the equation y equals negative 1. Find the distance between L1 and L2. That is 4. Option number 1 is the correct option. Okay, you can complete the lesson by yourself later today. So we were working on grade 10 math chapter we were working on is lines in the coordinate plane. The lessons we have covered today are slopes of parallel and perpendicular lines, equations of parallel and perpendicular lines, find the distance between a point and a line, find the distance between two parallel lines. So please make sure before the next session you can complete all the practice questions for the lessons we just did. That is your homework until next session. So if you need more help with any of the lessons, you can simply click on the live chat button. Tutors are available there to help you, or either you can write them down in the chat box. I'm here to answer all your questions and confusions if you have any. No questions? Okay, then that's all for today. See you in the next session. Bye, everyone.